92.5 FM.
Towards a 4th of July weekend, going to be absolutely spectacular right here in Jacksonville. Hopefully the rain will stay away. I don't know. I mean, I just don't know. I really feel for you on it. I'm okay. I have my mornings. I have my days. I spend most of my mornings in bed, but I still do have my days. But I generally do care about them, man. The 4th of July is a phenomenal holiday, and Mother Nature, she can rear her ugly head. Shame on you. Hopefully it doesn't interrupt barbecues and fireworks and the beach and golf and fishing. And is there anything else that you could possibly do over the 4th of July? Watch some golf, watch some baseball, maybe secretly or even outwardly. Just start having conversations about the Jaguars, where, it seems so promising this summer. And it's really an incredible situation if you think about it. I know I've mentioned it quite a bit, but it's true. The buzz in town after this team winning only 4 football games a year ago, it's off the chart, and I love it. I'm here for it. You're here for it. It'll be here before you know it. Day 2, rookies report in 19 days. At the Miller Electric Center. And as far as we do understand, the first overall practice is coming up on July 23rd. All right, Sauce Gardner, one of the really good corners in the NFL. He's with the Jets. He made an interesting comment today. He says he doesn't want CTE. I don't blame him. That's a downside of being a player. Injuries as a whole, head to toe, are a problem for former NFL players. But he goes on to say, quote, "I'm trying to protect my brain." And, it sounds, I don't know what, a little bit bizarre that someone just comes out and say, yeah, I'm trying to protect my brain. But it does. It makes a tremendous amount of sense. And, the only reason why I came out with that today is there was an interesting report that was in the Washington Post by Mark Maskey, saying that he had a recent conversation with an anonymous source, and it's just a matter of time. It's not a question of if. It's not a question of, will it happen? It's all about the time period when we get to an 18th overall game in the NFL. Now, it's not going to happen this year, obviously. Schedules are set, and players begin reporting later this month. I very much doubt that it would happen in the 2026 season, only because, according to this report, they said that negotiations haven't begun. Conversations are happening between teams. And you look at NFL Players Association Executive Director Lloyd Howell. He has had already talks with player representatives from teams, and player representatives from all 32 teams are going to now, break bread with players, look at it. What can you get out of it? Positives, negatives, and so forth. And that is the next step. If you look at future Super Bowls, the next 2 are set. They have not announced a date in 2028. Therefore, it looks like if you were a gambling man, again, it's a matter of time from when we go to 17 to 18. That would probably be the year, 2028, when everything is put into fruition. We'll have to see. But there's so much that is looked at with this, and what's good and what's not good. And for starters, let's just be honest about this. For the fans, it's perfect. For the fans, it's absolutely spectacular. You legitimately are going to pick up one extra month of football, because if they do go to an 18th game, forget about time off right now. Camp will open in early July. The NFL season will begin around Labor Day. You will go 20 weeks, 2 buys, the Super Bowl on Sunday, followed up by President's Day on Monday. Our friend, the late David Lamb, he was the first that I ever heard say the Monday after the Super Bowl should be a national holiday. And, you know, hey, nowadays things seem so ridiculously obvious, but people out there just argue with it anyway. I'm sure there is a large portion of people that say, you got to be kidding me. We're not going to have a day off after the Super Bowl. My guess would be most of those people are not listening to us right now. You, the listener, you love it. Who's not going to love a Monday off after the Super Bowl? And if you could plug it into President's Day the way that they are going to do it, if in fact, or when in fact this does take place, just think about the season-ending game and then a day off. I mean, you can't ask for much better than that. But there's so much that needs to go into this. You know, safety. They're going to act like that's the biggest concern. I don't believe it. NFL owners made $20 billion a season ago, right? They have 7 international games. They want to get to 16 international games by giving you an extra week in an extra game. That's going to make that process that much easier. Roger Goodell actually a couple of years ago told us that when they added a 17th game, concussions actually went down. He supported that with his data, okay? I don't know where he got it, but he said it. And he did that during his address around the Super Bowl. The following season, there were more injuries. The same commissioner, Roger Goodell, went as far as to say that's because there's advanced technology with doctors who have been able to discover, you know, even the smallest concussion. He literally said that, for those of you who may forget. Now, there are some numbers that do support that the game is getting a little bit safer. And I think there's a lot of different ways to look at that. The kick game, the punt game, those are responsible for, percentage-wise, the most injuries on any given play in the NFL. This past season was a record-setting year for lack of punts, fewest punts. More and more teams are going for it on 4th down. Enter Doug Peterson. I mean, some of them are close to being absurd, but we're getting more and more and more going for it on 4th down. When the 17th game was added in 2021, that year in 2021, 62 quarterback starts, all 32 teams. In 2022, it was a record, 69 quarterback starts. 2023, it went down to 66. This past year, in 2024, it went all the way down to 59. So you've had 10 less quarterback start. Not every quarterback start is a reflection of an injury. We get that. We understand it. Certain guys just get benched, whatever. But for the most part, you know, percentage-wise, it's because guys do get knocked out. So we saw that rise to an all-time high in 2022 and then drop this past year, 2 years later, all the way down to 59. Safety is the biggest concern. It should be the biggest concern for the players. Safety is not a concern for the owners. If they say it, don't believe them. I don't believe them. Safety is not a concern to you. These are modern-day gladiators. You want to watch them play as much as they possibly can. No one wants to see anyone get injured. I get it. But if you have a chance to go to 17 games as opposed to 18, if you have a chance to go from 3 preseason games to 2, everyone out there is going to sign up for it. Let's just admit it. Logistics. This is going to be a PIA. I've always wondered about how you are able to put together schedules. And I'm talking about long before, you know, algorithms and all of that. A schedule maker, to me, you know, really going back into the time, 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever it was years ago, is such a unperfect science. I would have loved to have seen how they were able to actually do this. Not so much in football. That's pretty easy with the lack of games. But, you get the baseball when you have 162. Or if you're an NBA team, where I grew up in Boston, both the Celtics and Bruins play in the same building. And they have concerts. They wheel in the circus. They do. How do you do all that? I don't know. But logistics is going to be an issue here, both home and away. So that's something that absolutely needs to be looked at. In my opinion, you are going, and there was nothing written about this in the Washington Post article. This is my opinion. You have to increase the roster. I think NFL rosters should be increased anyway. Now, I don't want it to be a zoo like we see on Saturday. That is, to me, one of the most bothersome parts of college football. It is uncontrolled chaos on a college football sideline. It is bizarre. You've got 100 players dressed. You got everyone who's injured and not dressed there in jerseys. You've got recruits. You've got friends of the coach. You've got friends. It is awful. And I say this in totally hypocritical terms because for years and years and years and years and years, when I covered Florida State, even when I was here in Jacksonville, there was only one place that I would go. That was the sideline in Gainesville, and that was the sideline at the Orange Bowl in Miami. I wanted nothing to do with the press box. I was on the sideline. But still, it's bizarre. The NFL Mafia, look at and I knew this my 8 years as a sideline reporter. Just look at the NFL Mafia. If you're not supposed to be, they got like 10 guys upstairs with high-powered military binoculars, and they will take your ass out of there within 30 seconds if you're on an NFL sideline. NCAA, the complete opposite. But anyway, you need to expand rosters. If you're going to an 18th game, that is absolutely something that has to take place. You need to give these players more money. Okay? Right now, $20 billion, right? Latest report was the players, according to the latest collective bargaining agreement, they bring in 48.8% of the money. They should be getting closer to 50% or exactly 50% if they are going to play an 18th game. A couple of things that, depending on how you look at it, again, is good or bad. For me, it's a little disturbing because this month right now is so important to the players when it comes to getting away, right? Family time, vacation time, that's gone. You're going to be checking into camp now. You're going to lose the first 3 weeks of July. And I'd be surprised if players would want to do that and go through a grind that begins now in early July all the way through the month of January if, in fact, you are a playoff team. Now, will that come at the expense? Jacksonville just went through, 16 if you combine rookie minicamp, OTAs, and mandatory minicamp. Will they take that 16 and maybe slash it to 8? Or maybe you can even count it on one hand. Say, we're going to work a little bit in we're going to work a little bit in May. Maybe work a tiny bit in early June. That's it. Just shut everything down. Allow these players to get out and get away. You've got to give them some time to go out and do that. So again, when you look at timing of all of this, that in itself, I do think is going to be a real legitimate issue. Two other things before the break. How about quality of play? Tanking in the NBA. It was in the article, okay? The NBA openly tanks. I've been a believer that in the NFL, they do not tank. In the NFL, they actually try to win games, okay? And a lot of that has to do with non-guaranteed contracts. You put yourself on film. You can't be loafing. You can't go less than 110%. You could get cut. You're a free agent. Another team is picking you up. You don't want to have that reputation. I think that's scary. The NBA, they don't care. But the lack of quality of play, I think, is something that needs to be discussed. And then finally, if you do have more games, Will that change, which I think would be a major negative here in Jacksonville? That is the playoff seeding. We continue to have 8 divisional winners. The Jaguars could go 9-8 and host the playoff game. If we have 18 games, doesn't that mean we're getting a little bit closer to the natural way of playoff seeding? It only took college football 1 year to say, forget about these conference champions and buys. You had a number 7 against number 8 in the national title with Ohio State and Notre Dame. They went to straight seeding. I don't ever want that to happen for you, because I want you to be able to host at least one playoff football game. But I do believe, my opinion, and it was written as well, 18th playoff game, closer to straight seeding. All right, a lot for you to chew on. Absolutely want to get you involved in this. This is a big deal. And, or maybe it isn't. Maybe it's, I'm sold. You nailed it, Ballou. Camp begins in early July. Holiday after the Super Bowl. 18 games, 2 bye weeks. I'm in. Where do I sign up? That's what I believe most of you are going to do. Most of you are going to say. And it's going to come sooner than later. But again, if you do want to respond, 641-1010 text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. All right, tonight's show brought to you by Shmunez Vision. They want to wish all of you a very safe and happy 4th of July with family and friends. Quit putting off getting your eyes checked. It's amazing why people do it. Several reasons, but it continuously does happen. Make an appointment today with the best around. That's Shmunez Vision. Get yourself a normal checkup, eye examination. Then you can figure out what's going on as far as contacts and glasses. And then maybe you want 20/20 vision for the rest of your days. How about laser eye surgery? Maybe there's a concern there. Get ahead of that as well. Could be a cataract deal. We're talking about more than 30 years worth of experience with Dr. Neo Shmunez, Dr. Catherine Shmunez, Dr. John Hunt. Check everything out. Just go to Shmunez Vision, or as well, you can go to Instagram and get the testimonials from happy customers of the good folks at Shmunez Vision. All right, Dylan Denmark joins us on the other side. More on this conversation coming up on the other side. A couple of guys have made some comments this week on Travis Hunter. Not surprised, but I'll share it with you. If you haven't heard it, I think it's going to be very interesting, the microscope that the rookie is going to be under. We'll get to that as well as we move through a Wednesday on Into the Night.
When sports news breaks and you need to know, there's just one place you need to go. 1010XL, Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Here's Linda Beaver.
The dog days of summer are here, and so are the hottest deals of the year. Whether you're hauling down the street, cruising on the beach, or just escaping the heat, we have the ride you're looking for and the wow you experience you deserve. Save big on select models with sizzling summer savings, low financing, and limited time bonus cash on all trades. So don't sweat it. Come beat the heat at Beaver Automotive, where the summer deals will wow you.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. I always brag on what you guys have on-road and off-road. But, Greg, tell everybody about what's happening on the water, because you got loads of opportunity.
We do. We've got lots of boats in stock. We got the Honda 19-foot Fisher Runabout. We've got the Coach pontoons, all of them with that legendary Honda motor and legendary Honda reliability, which you always want when you're out on the water.
You could be cruising along the Intercoastal or out on the ocean, but check it out. Facebook page ready for all of you to see, Cycles of Jacksonville, or their showroom on Atlantic near Regency.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and the 4th of July weekend is upon us. And I know what you're thinking. I can't start a Waco 180 weight loss because I want to eat on that long weekend. Well, guess what? You can eat hamburgers on a Waco 180 weight loss. You can eat chicken, steak, or pork, too. You can even eat lobster because you're eating real food and losing weight. More important, it's fast, easy, and safe. No chemicals in your body, no counting calories or points, or any other fad diet. I can't stress this enough. You eat real food every single day. You know what else you're doing while losing weight with Awaken 180? Eliminating pain, fitting into clothes you haven't worn in years, sleeping through the night and waking up refreshed and energized. I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180, and Hacker lost more than 110. You can lose whatever you want. It doesn't matter what your goal weight is. Awaken 180 weight loss will get you there quickly and safely by eating real food every single day. Awaken 180 weight loss is the clear path to success without disappointment. Give them a call, 844-346-1800, or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org.
This 4th of July, Navy Mutual would like to salute Nolan Ryan as our hero in sports. Ryan is baseball's ultimate Iron Man, but also a Patriot. Served 1 year with the Army Reserves in 1967 before returning to baseball and pitching for the New York Mets.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
1010XL's running game takes a giant step forward.
Well, Fred Taylor is the whole package.
Fred Taylor joins Dan and Jeff on the drill. Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins and Monahan Jewelers.
The playoff-bound Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp are in full swing at the newly renovated VyStar Ballpark. Your home for affordable family fun. Tickets start at just $5. Fireworks after every Friday home game, and kids round the bases after Sunday games. Log on to jackshrimp.com for tickets and details. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, affordable, family, fun.
Living on Amelia Island, having fun in Fernandina Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mokama Beer Company. With a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect Pilsners and Lagers, matching memories and some Mokama magic is what it's all about. Mokama Beer Company in Fernandina Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mokama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
If the sun ain't shining bright,
Bob Seger's American.
and the moon,
Really the pride of Detroit, right?
you tonight,
You're going to go Alice Cooper or go Motown
the stars
or go Three Finger Ted Nugent.
go away,
To me, Detroit's hockey town.
and you
The
feel
old Joe Louis Arena.
feeling real low down today.
That short deck in right field at old Tigers Park.
If life gets hard,
Reggie Jackson left the park. He also hit one off of an acid-laced
things getting out of hand.
Doc Ellis in the 1971 All-Star Game.
Come see your papa.
Kid Rock? I don't know. I'm still going to go Bob Seger. Good to have you with us. Dylan Denmark is here. You have any affection for Detroit?
You say Detroit, I think of Eminem.
Ah, 8 Mile. Okay.
Yeah.
When I was with the Jags, didn't spend a lot of time in Detroit. Instead, I got in a cab and went over to Windsor, Ontario, which you can get in trouble pretty easy over there. I don't know how I did it, but I happened to find myself at a gentleman's club, and it was the first time I'd ever seen two women throw down. Two strippers throw down. And it was pretty awful, to be honest with you. You know, listen, I love women. I love everything about women. I don't like watching women fight. I mean, these things pop up on my phone, like street fights.
Oh, yeah. There was one not too recently. A couple white girls. I forget where they were. It was like six girls just throwing haymakers.
Not for me. I mean, when these fight things pop up, all right, I'm like everyone else. I'll watch, man on man, but I don't enjoy watching women fight at all. Anything outside of, let's say, Jello wrestling. You know, like the old Stripes with Dewey Oxberger when he gets in there. That actually might have been mud and not even Jello. But, yeah, I actually witnessed that right across the border.
Yeah. I think the last good fight I seen was in a Waffle House parking lot a couple of years ago. And it was one of those where it was like, yeah, we need to get out of here. We had just got out of the car. We were like, let's just go to the one across the street. So we went to the Waffle House 5 minutes down the road. Typical of the West Side.
When I grew up, my dad was like, you know, he set rules. You know, like his rule was you never hit anyone first. So then you hit him in the stomach. And if it gets out of control, yes, but no kicking. You know, he was also like no pulling of a knife, no pulling of an AK-47. You know, he like set the ground rules for me. But you see how street fights change. And for the most part now, you know, certainly with the explosion of UFC, it's basically do what you have to do to defend yourself. But I just don't enjoy watching these women and the pulling of the hair. Oh, my God. Some of that stuff is vicious. So obviously, I've watched a few of them. Just not a big fan. Even when, you know, the whole Tanya Harding stuff. A hacker asked me at the top, am I still a fan of the UFC? I've gone to the events here in Jacksonville, and they were all spectacular. They were all big headline ladies fights, and those are athletes. But still, it's not my thing. It may be yours. All right, tonight, show brought to you by Alexander Law Practice. My buddy Rick Alexander has been rated AV since 2004 by Martindale-Hubbell. It's the gold standard for any lawyer, right? They recognize their strong legal ability and ethical standards, and less than 10% of lawyers out there actually do receive this rating. Let's get straight to it. If you have been injured, particularly in a car, okay, a truck, a vehicle accident, and it was primarily caused by the other side, careless driving by the other individual, and you may feel you have nowhere to go. You're up against it right now. You can't afford to make the payments to get your car fixed. You can't get to work. You may be shut down. You may feel there's no answer for you. Wrong. Just go to Alexander Law Practice, right? You're going to get the individual attention that you deserve. And for starters, you're going to get an immediate callback. You'll also never come out of pocket, okay? Everything will be looked at during a free review, including getting your car fixed. Whatever it may be, you need to make the call today and get yourself, again, a free consultation. 400-6600. Easy to remember. 400-6600. Or go to Alexander Law Practice, and hopefully you don't have to call, because I don't want to see anyone out there get injured. But if it's you or a family member or a friend, again, please give them the number, 400-6600, or go to alexanderlawpractice.com. All right. Dylan, I just went off on 18 games. It's a matter of time. What do you like here with an 18th game? What do you dislike here with an 18th game?
I guess to like is an extra week of football. But I have a lot more dislikes. I just go back to the end of last year. I guess it would be week 18. And there were no teams fighting for a playoff spot. All the seedings were pretty much done. And because the gap in the NFL was so wide, if you looked at the AFC, you had, the top teams, the Kansas City, Buffalo, Baltimore. We all knew the wild card was Cincinnati fought till the end. Indy had a terrible loss the second to last week of the season. I forget who that was too. Mm-hmm. But I mean, look at the bottom teams. You had Tennessee 3 wins, Cleveland 3 wins, Vegas 4 wins, New England 4 wins, Jacksonville 4 wins, the Jets 5 wins, and so there was no middle ground. It was either you were either really good or you were at the bottom of the barrel. And the same thing for the NFC. I mean, Chicago ended 5-12, but they started the season, 3-1? I think it was. San Francisco and Dallas, teams right above them, had 7-6 wins. You knew those teams weren't going to make the playoffs in December. Mm-hmm. So I think it's going to happen just because the owners get more money and, probably get another extra game internationally somewhere where the NFL doesn't have a game yet, but I'm not for it. More is not always better. And you talk about injuries, you talked about the quarterback position. I don't care for it, but it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to me how they would police that. I do think a lot of tanking, like we see in the NBA. I just got one here that says that this is from, let's see, the 0041. The Jags definitely tank for Trevor. Okay, they signed a field goal kicker who was working at a Wawa and had never made a field goal in college. If I recall correctly, I don't remember that. I'm going to respectfully disagree. I had a lot of conversations with a lot of people. I do not think that they tanked to get Trevor Lawrence. And again, I think the primary reason for this is that in the sport of football, most contracts are not guaranteed. And if you were to get lit up for tanking or caught for tanking, who knows what the league would try to enforce. Now, will they police this differently? I don't have an answer for you, okay? You see NBA tanking, there's no penalty. I mean, we've talked about this for decades. These contracts are guaranteed. So I think it's a fair point, but I don't really know how this is going to end up working because of that very reason. The other thing, you said an extra week of football. What it really is, Dylan, is it's 2 extra weeks of football.
Yeah, including the bye week.
Right. It's an extra half a month of football. And you look around here, the people that just can't get going, they can't move through the offseason. We have right now 18 weeks and 17 games. As soon as this comes into play, you're going to have 20 weeks and 18 games. So, yeah, you're going to have 2 bye weeks, but for NFL fans and everyone else, you're going to grab an extra half month. Again, if you're for most fans out there, this is absolutely a no-brainer as far as I am concerned. 3639 says, Boo, I personally think 17 is a good number, but my opinion, they need to make every team have 8 home, 8 away in 1 international game every year. Well, they were disappointed that they only got 7 international games this year, right? They really want to move to 16 international games. I don't know why that is the golden number. I've been very outspoken about this. I don't want international games. Go back to logistics, especially with an 18-game schedule. It's too much of a grind for these players. It really is. You know, in London, okay, you want to go to London, go see a game. I know tons of people have done that, fine. But now you're starting to kick in, all of these other countries. And I just think it's too much. I do. Things are crazy out there right now. And, I'm not necessarily worried about safety, but it's such a money grab. That's the bottom line. It's all about money. Some of you love that 9:30 game. Some of you are so into it. You're like, give me 9:30, 1, 4, 8 o'clock at night. I'm ready. That's 4 different games that I'm guaranteed to watch. I mean, that's a whole day as a Sunday. But $20 billion, it's not enough. And you as the consumer, you find a way. Whether you buy tickets here, buy tickets on the road, no matter where it is that you go, it's incredibly expensive. But if you also get with your buddies and say, let's meet for the 1 o'clock games at your bar, and you really dig your elbows into it, and you have yourself, 8, 10, 12 beers, couple of shots, some wings, maybe mix in a salad. I mean, you're looking at $100 bill, right? And not everyone can just throw down $100 to sit there and watch the NFL. It's becoming really a upper class sport. And to me, that's a shame. It really is. I mean, I remember growing up and going to the New England Patriots games with my dad and his friends and him stuffing Schaefer and Schlitz beer into my down jacket and walking me in, with $35,000. And it was very affordable. It's not. And by the way, I'm not ever trying to tell you not to go, especially here. I want all of you to go. Many of you have told me, that's it, I'm canceling season tickets. I've argued with every one of you. I am a proponent for supporting this team. League-wide, though, it is brutally expensive. Insanely expensive. I think the last time I went to a non, because of course Jaguar games I work, I think the last time I went to a sporting event, it might have been Tampa Bay for a hockey game. And Dylan, I'm paying $22 for a 25-ounce beer.
I believe it.
$22. Now, I have no problem paying for entertainment. I paid $1,850 last year for 2 U2 tickets at the Sphere. I have no problem paying for entertainment. $22 is $22. But for a lot of people, it's like, yeah, you can buy a case of beer and another 12-pack for $22.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing if you're doing it for yourself, but if you're trying to, take your family, I mean, take your whole paycheck with you, because by the time you add up parking, if you want to eat and drink, and then the tickets, especially if it's, like I went to a Rockies game. Most Rockies games, are pretty cheap, but I wanted to see the Dodgers play, so the tickets were a little bit more. If you're going to go to a game where, it's a high value, it's going to be expensive. And it's like that for every sporting event now.
We're getting all of the conspiracy theorists out there now. The 8056 says the Jaguars did sign a kicker. They never made it in college. The Jaguars also started Andrew Wingard that year. It's the only time he ever started. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm naive. Maybe I'm gullible. Or maybe I just don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Well, ask John Ocean about this coming up at 8 o'clock. All right, let me get to this Travis Hunter stuff I promised you. That's coming up here on the other side.
Turn on your radio. We'll bring the game to you.
Here we go. 4th and a yard.
Jacksonville's play-by-play sports radio. 1010XL.
Power bill just went up again? Why keep paying more? Clay Solar can wipe that electric bill out. Right now, they'll cover your first 6 months' payments. Visit claysolar.com today to schedule your free consultation. claysolar.com.
Maxed out on credit cards? Struggling with high-interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
Are you living with diabetic neuropathy? That pain and numbness in your hands or feet? What about chronic knee or shoulder pain? Maybe you've tried various treatments, but they've been ineffective. Now there's a solution. Dr. Ferdinand Formoso specializes in advanced pain management and offers breakthrough neuromodulation treatments for those conditions. His innovative treatments target the source of your pain, offering relief where medications may fall short. All procedures are performed outpatient with no hospitalization required. Just a chance for you to feel and live better. If you want to learn more, Dr. Formoso is hosting free informational classes where he'll explain the benefits of neuromodulation therapies and how they can help eliminate your pain. Spaces are limited, so call to reserve your spot now with offices on the South Side, West Side, and Jacksonville Beach. Relief is possible with Formoso spine and joint pain specialists.
With Lee and Kate's class, you're gonna see a big difference.
Hey, it's Frank Frangie. Look, when it comes to glass needs around the home, there's one name I trust, Lee & Kate's. It's local, family-owned, and they've been part of our community since 1926. They've taken great care of me over the years, and I know they'll do the same for you. Visit leeandkatesglass.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
This is Mark Nato. My sons and I have seen the doctors and PAs at Southeast Ortho for everything from lumbar spine stress to elbow tendonitis. Southeast has always been there, been truthful, and always been on point. Everything they say happens. We can't thank them enough for what they've done and the great care that they have taken of our sons.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On July 2nd, 1995, the LA Dodgers pitcher Hito Nomo was named the first Japanese player to be selected in an MLB All-Star game.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
Frank Frangie here for Coil Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports moments. Remember Hal Sutton when he famously said, "Be the right club today"? Well, that's what Coil Fencing delivers, the right fence today. And they've been delivering the right fencing for both commercial and residential properties for nearly 100 years. If you're in the market for a new fence, call Coil & Sons today at 904-356-4821 or visit coiljacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com.
David here with Royal Pest Services. It's back. Our summer Centricon Termite Special. New installs begin as low as $249. And if you have existing Centricon, but your renewal is through the roof, we can transfer you to Royal at no cost. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a free estimate.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, buddy. Why so glum?
Stinky ice cubes, Jason. It's all downhill from here.
What?
The tap water at my place smells kind of funky. Funky tap water makes funky ice cubes. I meet a nice girl, invite her back to my place for a cocktail, and blow my whole romantic gesture with a mojito that smells like dog's feet.
Wait, I can totally make you way cooler.
I'm not taking your charity ice cubes, Jason. I have my pride.
Your pride is safe. Our plumbers can be at your house the day you call and install a whole home water purification system. Water tastes better, dishes come out cleaner, even your hair feels better after you shower.
Ooh, the ladies love a man with soft hair, don't they, Jason?
Life moves pretty fast. If you spend every day worried about the water in your own home, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Adam Smith sold out, but who's to blame? They made all that money, right? Skip Bayless sells out. Stephen A. Smith sells out. Who's to blame? Someone offers you a pocket full of cash. Tough to say no. Tonight, Blue Crab Crab House, $1 oysters. My goodness. No place I'd rather be than right here. But if I was off, I'd head to San Jose, look for Jointed Creek Road, and bam, $1 oysters. I was there on Saturday night. Had a blast with the GF and 6-year-old granddaughter. Just getting after it, having a blast. So they're open until 9 o'clock. Make sure you visit the good folks at the Blue Crab Crab House. I did see this. It was sent to me a little bit earlier today. It's the top barbecue cities. Any idea that's number one?
Probably Kansas City.
You nailed it.
Yep.
L.A. at 2.
That's shocking.
I'm like, what? Los Angeles. I mean, there's good food in L.A., but I would never think barbecue in Los Angeles. Houston, St. Louis, Austin, Chicago, Vegas, Memphis, Nashville, and New York are your top 10. In our state, Orlando at 17. Wow. Miami Beach at 20. Daytona Beach at 27. Miami itself at 29. Jacksonville comes in at number 36. So that's a decent rating. Listen, I'm not a foodie. I brag about the Blue Crab House. It is absolutely spectacular. It's my favorite restaurant in town. But I'm not one of those that can. Jeff Lageman was great about this when we go out on the road with the Jaguars. He knew his favorite stay. We go to St. Elmo's and those places in Indianapolis. And he's got such a tongue. He's got such taste buds that he can rank, the top steaks across the country. I can't do that. I just don't have that type of taste. You have that type of taste?
I have a preferred, like, if I like a place, like one or the other, but I'm not really too picky. I am a steak person, though, over anything else, like a burger or anything like that. Steak is my thing. Ribeye.
Not necessarily for me.
Really? Well, if you go out, what's your thing?
I'll go steak, but if I could go pork chop, I can go chicken.
So nothing in particular, just whatever.
No, we'll go fish.
What kind of fish?
Salmon, haddock.
Grilled
cod.
salmon's really good.
But when I go seafood, man, it's crabs. Absolutely love scallops. Scallops are insane. And of course, when I was home in Boston, I had a bunch of lobster. I mean, that Maine lobster, Boston lobster is pretty good. But I don't have that in me where I can tell the difference. I just want a lot. I don't care what it is. I just want a lot of it. Let's get to some interesting stuff the last 2 days on, and you know that this is coming on Travis Hunter. Let's begin with Willie Colon, the former Pittsburgh Steelers offensive lineman, who did go on to say, and I quote, as a two-way player in the NFL, I'm going to see if you're strong enough to be a two-way player. So when I'm pulling around the corner, I'm going to test that number 12 on your chest. He also goes on to say, and so for me, if I'm the Jacksonville Jaguars, listen to what the players are saying. They're curious if he can finish an 18-game season going both ways. I promise you he won't. Again, this is comments from Willie Colon. They'll move him to one side of the ball, and that's cornerback, to allow him to be one of the best cornerbacks that he can be, because not only will you have to make tackles, you're going to have to withstand getting hit too. End of quote from Willie Colon. All right. This is maybe the first time that we've seen anything where they're going to go after him. I've been a big believer that this is going to happen, even though I think most of the conversations will be private. When you get ready for these games coming up and you interview players on opposing teams the week of the game, and they're asked about Travis Hunter, I think for the most part, today's NFL players are smart enough to give you the expected answer, the canned answer. But privately, position group-wise, especially on defense, I believe that they're going to accept this challenge. And it's going to be very difficult for Travis Hunter. Just my thoughts on it. Let's get to Travis Kelce. He had this to say. Kelce called Travis Hunter a, quote, world-class athlete, right? Then he went on to say this is what he believes offenses are going to do to Travis Hunter when he is playing corner. He goes on to say deep route after deep route after deep route. Try to wear him down. Make him miserable. All right, the last sentence right there, Travis Kelce obviously doesn't know about the personality of Travis Hunter and his quote-unquote love for the game of football. It's infectious. He's always smiling. He's always amped up. He is such a good athlete. It looks like he never wants to come off the field. But that's an interesting way of looking at it. Would you take a wide receiver and basically take him out of the play, make him a decoy, and your responsibility is this: let's try to wear down Travis Hunter. So, each and every play, bam, 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 deep route, deep route, deep route. Get him to run 30, 40 yards each and every play. Come back to the huddle. 30 seconds later, deep route. Never heard that before. To me, it's somewhat intriguing. This is more of the, game plan, how to put things in. The Willie Colon deal is just a situation where, listen, there's a lot of pride in this league. And this young man thinks he can come up and play both sides of the football. His manhood is going to be challenged all the time on the field. So some interesting stuff there. And it's really the first couple of bits. I've been looking for this ever since he was selected here. Been looking for comments that will be made. And trust me, this is going to be a weekly deal. It is. I don't know necessarily if players... I don't think players are stupid enough to be like Thomas Castellanos calling out Alabama. I don't think they'll do that, but every once in a while something will slip. Nonetheless, there's going to be a ton of members of the media, especially former NFL players, where this is going to be a conversation and something new is going to roll in week after week after week. Just get ready for it. If you want to respond, you can. Best way to do it, 641-1010. That is the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Also, let's welcome all of those in tonight, watching on YouTube at 1010XL into the night. Respond to that? Absolutely. Your response to the 18th game in the NFL, which we began the program with? Absolutely. I also ask John Osher about these two things and much more as he joins us coming up in 5 minutes.
After the workday, Rick Ballou goes to work.
Did you see him really working it there? That was something special.
With more Jags and the stories that are buzzing. Go into the night with Rick Ballou. Then it's Hacker After Dark. Evenings on 1010XL.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars. Make them your AC partner. With honest cost estimates before they start the work with no hidden fees. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
Sun's out. Deals on at Hurricane Grill and Wings. Enjoy summer eats like the Yingling beer batter fish sandwich, chicken salad lettuce wraps, and wings and tenders combo basket. All for under $14. Add 3 bone-in wings for just $3.49. And sip a peach cocktail or Michelob Ultra. HurricaneWings.com.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Life is just so busy this time of year. Between work, the kids' games, family vacations, I need a yard hero to free up my weekends.
You mean somebody who does mowing and trimming?
Yeah.
How about mosquito control?
Yeah.
What about irrigation and pet waste removal?
You do that too? You're my lawn hero.
Find your lawn hero at heroeslawncare.com. Heroes Lawn Care, because every lawn needs a hero.
Are you ready to reclaim your backyard? Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, Surfside Pools is the trusted name for expert pool design. Family owned and operated, they offer pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools transform your backyard into the oasis that you crave. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, where luxury meets leisure.
License number CPC 044080.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Hacker here, and I want to tell you one of my favorite things about Awaken 180 Weight Loss, and that's the personalized coaching that you get with Awaken 180. Now, a lot of weight loss programs, they'll give you some plan off their website, and they'll say, all right, have fun, see you later. Not Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Prime example of that, my Coach Kate. I've had phone calls with my Coach Kate over a year now, every single week. She's been advising me, she's been guiding me, she's been motivating me, and as a result of that, I'm down well over 100 pounds. I'm on the maintenance program now. The coaching you get with Awaken 180 helps you reach your goal. It is absolutely sensational, and it separates Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Do what I did. If it's time for you to lose weight like it was for me, go to awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com, or call 844-346-1800. Take it from me. If I can do it, you can do it. Get involved with Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Hey, Jacksonville, it's Dan Hicken with a game changer. I've tested the field, and Checkmate Coatings is my new go-to for durable, jaw-dropping floor coating. Better play, better results.
I'm Brendan with Checkmate Coatings. We coat it all: garages, pool decks, driveways, and patios. Be the envy of your neighbors.
Slam dunk your floors at checkmatecoatings.com. Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
How many different denominations of paper money are currently being used?
When you file a claim with Southern Oak Insurance, we schedule one of our trusted vendors to work directly with you, which means a faster claim resolution. Find out more at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
There are 7 denominations of U.S. currency: the 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, 50, and $100 bills.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold's recently hit an all-time high at over $3,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's time for Oh No's with Jaguars.com's John Osher. Oh No's. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Served up by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
You recognize the music. John Osher time. Senior writer, Jaguars.com. Get everything from John daily, including the ozone. You a 4th of July guy? You a fireworks guy?
I'll watch fireworks. Back in the day, friends and I would drink some beer on the beach and watch some fireworks. At my age, Rick, it's difficult to get to them.
Mm-hmm.
So I usually wind up listening to them. I live in Springfield, so we can sometimes get an angle where we can see them downtown, and that's about the extent of my effort these days for fireworks.
Now, I've heard several times that you either have a dog or dogs. How do they handle it?
Well, she used to handle it very poorly. Now she's 14 and mostly blind, and we think about 80% deaf, so she's better.
Mm-hmm.
But we're watching our son's golden retriever while he's on his honeymoon. So we're anticipating that could be a thing because the golden retriever can hear very well, and I'm sure he doesn't like them.
Well, something else, when we think of the 4th of July, it's during the, it feels like 2 weeks that the National Hockey League actually has off. But we talked a lot about the Panthers, man. They re-signed everyone, including Brad Marchand.
Yeah, they're going to go after it again. And you thought Marchand was going to the Bruins, right?
I thought it was
Going
a three-team race. I thought it was Florida, Boston, and I thought there was an outside shot that maybe Toronto would give them just a ton of money.
Yeah, and it's they're loaded up again, and I don't know how old they are, Rick. Can they stay young enough to do it one more time? Is this sort of a circle the wagons thing?
We'll see. The Bahamas is where Trevor is, and it's where the three blazing wide receivers are. This is absolutely a positive. They're getting in some work. They're getting in some relaxation as well. But, every day that you can take your quarterback throwing the football to Thomas Jr., Hunter, and Brown, this can only be looked at as a good thing.
Yeah, and I'm more of the belief that these sorts of things build chemistry probably more than they build a whole lot on the field. I don't want to discount what goes on the field, but without pads, you can get a lot of this kind of work done if you're here in town as well. But I do think the camaraderie to build up. Trevor hasn't been around Travis Hunter that much. He hasn't been around Brian Thomas Jr. that much, and certainly hasn't been around De'Ami Brown. So I think on that level, the chemistry that a quarterback and these guys can build up. The NFL these days, or always, it's so much different than college because these guys have lives of their own.
Mm-hmm.
So the more they can be around each other in sort of a guy's world, if you will, I think that's all positive. And I think if they can bond, I think to me that's what these guys get as much out of that as anything on the field, which I think is very important.
John Osher, our guest, senior writer, Jaguars.com, joining Rick Ballou as we go into the night. I read a piece today in the Washington Post about it's just a matter of time to get to this 18th game. There's a lot of stuff that the NFL and the NFLPA is going to have to go through. Camp would begin in early July, so we'd be in camp now, and it would go through the Super Bowl with a holiday on President's Day. Just give us your thought on whether or not you really think this is going to happen, and what do you also believe, John? There were just, 16 rookie minicamps, OTAs, mandatory minicamp. How much do you think they would cut back in May and June?
I guess they're going to do it at some point. I mean, and some of it's the old guy in me that, I thought 16 was enough just because my experience tells me that when you play as many games, it's already a league of attrition. I think in the off season when they're discussing these things, people forget how much injuries and wear and tear can really affect January and, now with this February football. But the old man in me is going to lose this one because eventually they're going to do it because it feels like that's the direction you're going. They talked last year about sort of completely restructuring the off season where you had, they got back in June and it was sort of a lead up with OTAs connected to training camp. I hope they don't do that because, boy, doesn't that make an already long off season long. But I think something like that would take place if it goes to 18. I wonder if after they did that for a year or two, meaning if they went to where it starts in mid-June, would they look at it and say, boy, it's just a long time without any sort of a break? Would they readjust? Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love it. Personally, I don't like the change because I've gotten used to this offseason. I think fans have too.
Yeah.
That's not a reason not to change. I do worry realistically about the attrition part that I talked about with 18 games. You're talking about a long physical season that I think the quality of play late in the season could suffer. That doesn't mean they're not going to do it.
Yeah. I mean, safety's an issue, as you mentioned. Logistics is an issue. Certainly the roster. They're going to have to expand it. And, the NBA is openly tanked. We've seen that forever. But those are guaranteed contracts. Those guys can do whatever they want. We've always been told that in the NFL, You don't get tanking because these contracts, for the most part, are not guaranteed. The film doesn't lie. They want to be able to get another job somewhere. But still, I wonder how they will police that late in the year.
Yeah, and I haven't thought through that. Those are some good thoughts. I do believe that you don't see individual tanking in the NFL. I think sometimes late in seasons you see teams that stop believing, and therefore you get a lot of individual effort that's not very team-oriented. But I do kind of think that, at some point, when you expand to 18, you also bring in the other element, Rick, that, more teams clinch earlier, so therefore you get a little more of teams pulling their starters out. You get more gaps where teams can get bigger leads in divisions. I don't think that's great for the NFL, but so there's a lot of factors in a league of attrition. Like I keep saying, when you have injuries and this much wear and tear on bodies, teams have already had to deal with it. I think you're opening up a lot, and the game's going to change. But other sports have changed. The NBA is not what I grew up watching, but it still works. So that's what they're going to do.
All right, last one for you. It's a little bit awkward, but I'm going to ask anyway. Do you believe this new regime, after the 16 practices and all the classroom work and everything, that something changes? There have been conversations about what they saw with this 91-man roster, and you know what? Let's more than just tweak. We need to do more of this as opposed to doing more of that. It's really tough to try to figure it out with a brand new regime. But you understand where I'm going? Do you think they learned things and possibly there could be some sort of a change coming up here in 3 weeks?
By change, do you mean like a major personnel move? I doubt it, because there's not much.
More of practice habits, more like, we got to go red zone every single day, or we got to work on, only 7 takeaways a year ago. We got to work on finding a way to take the ball away to defensively. Just anything along those lines.
Yeah, I doubt anything philosophical changes because, mainly because of this. I'm a big believer that, we way overplay OTAs and it's a lead up to training camp. Some coaches believe that, some don't. It really sounded to me like Liam Cohen really believes that same way, that, you were over there, Rick. Everything about the offensive line, he went out of his way to say, hey, you can't tell very much. We're telling by effort and by camaraderie and all those things. So I do think what you're talking about could happen once training camp gets started, because, as you know, they changed their offensive line approach last year in Tampa based on early season games. I think he can adapt. I think it will take padded work to make what you're talking about happen, as opposed to anything that happened in OTAs. That's just sort of based on the things that Liam Cohen talked about, the importance of training camp practice.
John Osher, ladies and gentlemen. Read everything from John and his staff. Just go to Jaguars.com. He is the senior writer. Also look for the O-Zone. All right, John, thank you. Happy 4th to you and yours.
Rick, you as well, buddy. Thank you.
There he goes, John Osher. I'm very interested about that. I mean, frankly, I thought we saw more red zone in OTAs than I expected. The takeaway, again, there's no contact, but some takeaway drills, in my opinion, was more than the former regime. I mean, you can't help but compare what you see compared to what Peterson did, and Meyer did, and Marone did, and Bradley did. I've been around here forever. Del Rio did. Malarkey for 1 year. Remember, Malarkey was a huge proponent of really attention to detail. I mean, the slightest little things as far as alignment, whatever it may be. Every coach is different. But I just wonder, did they come to some sort of a agreement that, you know what, our focus once practice gets underway has to be much more now in this particular area than perhaps they thought it needed to be when they got there? I don't know. I don't know. And you know what? It's not as though we're ever going to be told the answer to that question, but those are two massive parts of this football team that has to change. Liam Cohen had the best red zone offense in the NFL last year. Baker Mayfield was the best red zone quarterback in the NFL last year. The Jaguars were absolutely atrocious in the red zone. Trevor Lawrence was really bad in the red zone. To me, you got to work on that daily. And we saw it late in camp, and there was some good. There was some good both offensively and defensively. But, there's something right there that more red zone work. That's just one off the, the top of my head. So, I don't know, but we'll be there for it. And we'll certainly analyze it all and talk about it each and every morning, afternoon, and night right here on your home of the Jaguars. That is 92.5 FM. All right, when I come back, I want to get to some of your texts. I also want to spend a second here on Clayton Kershaw because we're staring at history tonight. He's going to become the 20th player, or could be the 20th player, to notch up 3,000 career strikeouts. And it's interesting to me that this particular statistical category gets really no love. All right? In Major League Baseball, it's for pitchers, it's 300 wins. In baseball, it's 3,000 hits, right? It's 500 home runs. In baseball, single season, it's hitting 300. It's 30 home runs. It's 100 RBIs. There's so many offensive legendary numbers in baseball. But, when you look at pitchers, what are the two? To me, the two premier numbers are winning 20 games in a year and winning 300 career games. 3,000 strikeouts should be a benchmark. Only 19 players have done it, and only 2 are not in the Hall of Fame. The reason why they're not in the Hall of Fame is Roger Clemens and his battle about whether or not he took steroids, and Kurt Schilling because, writers and their political views disagree with comments, politically speaking, that Kurt Schilling has made. That's why he's not in. It's, I don't know. I just think we're staring at history tonight. So I want to spend a minute on this coming up. But I primarily want to get to your text. Best way to join us, 641-1010, brought to you by the good folks over at Lifetime Enclosures.
Putting some paint on your quarter panel.
Trouble left turn number 2. A couple of cars spin. Kyle Busch is one of them.
Sunday at the Chicago Street Race. NASCAR is tuned up by Maxie's Mechanics on Jacksonville's NASCAR station, 1010XL.
Here's Linda Beaver.
The dog days of summer are here, and so are the hottest deals of the year. Whether you're hauling down the street, cruising on the beach, or just escaping the heat, we have the ride you're looking for and the wow you experience you deserve. Save big on select models with sizzling summer savings, low financing, and limited time bonus cash on all trades. So don't sweat it. Come beat the heat at Beaver Automotive, where the summer deals will wow you.
Don't just stand there. Everything you need to turn $1 into an epic win is in your hand. Hard Rock Bet. Bet it, parlay it, boost it, however you want to do it. From wherever you are to the moon. Bet anytime a line, prop, or parlay catches your eye. And withdraw cash when you want it. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us. New players bet $5 and get $150 instantly in bonus bets. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Hey, Hicken here, or just call me Dreamfinders Danny. For a limited time to ring in the new year, Dreamfinders Homes is offering an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down that rate and get in the game. You heard me right. It's 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
Brian Wall here. Would you take your paycheck, go to the bank, cash it, and then simply throw it up in the air? I didn't think so. But in a way, over the years, that is exactly what you're doing if you have old or builder-grade windows in your home. Even if you have a brand new home, those windows are not the best windows you can have to save on your energy bills. Window World has sold millions of replacement windows to homeowners like you, and Window World's customer satisfaction is the highest in the business. Please check Window World out yourself and save on your new windows and on your energy bills. Compare with other companies and you'll see Window World is simply the best for less. It's up to you. You can call Window World and get a free estimate, get the best guarantee in the window replacement business, save money on your new windows, and save more on your energy bills. Call Window World today at 904-443-7001 or go online to windowworldneflorida.com. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. Whether it's a long day on your feet, a demanding workout, or everyday aches and pains, you need relief that can keep up when pain persists. Aleve is here for you with longer-lasting body pain relief compared to leading OTC-branded pain relievers. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On July 2nd, 1995, the LA Dodgers pitcher Hito Nomo was named the first Japanese player to be selected in an MLB All-Star game.
You wouldn't drive your car 50,000 miles without an oil change. So why are you ignoring your septic tank? That thing's working around the clock, taking every flush, shower, and mystery casserole down the line. Eventually, it fills up. And when it does, you do not want to find out the hard way. Don't wait for the stink. Septic tanks need to be pumped every 3 to 5 years. Call 904-862-6769 to schedule your septic pump out with the pros at Duck Duck Rooter. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Tired of wrestling with your shower curtain like it's a slip and slide gone wrong? Ditch the drama and say hello to a smooth, stylish glass shower enclosure from Baker Glass. Wago Glass is clean, elegant, and makes your bathroom look huge and brighter. Give your shower a makeover and feel like you're in a spa without the price tag. I'm Mac at Baker Glass. Call me and get ready to love your new shower. Let's make your shower great again. Remember, Baker Glass, no one treats you better.
Here for my friends at Zero Res. Man, I love the cleaning freaks. This week only, we salute the 4th. Zero Res offering 25% off all services. That's right, a 4th off for the 4th through the end of this week. So book it now, man. Schedule your appointment at ZeroResJacksonville.com or call 287-5727 and ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res, spell it backwards or forwards. It spells the same. Zero Res. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
Okay, for this Cannons of Jacksonville commercial, we need an idea to really come out with a bang.
Like having a guy shot out of a cannon.
Nah, too messy. In fact, Cannons is known for all your towing needs.
So like my car won't start.
No. Towing products. Cannons does custom welding fabrication and installation of trailer hitches, goosenecks, tow bars, truck racks.
So you might say Cannons is my best shot at finding that inventory in stock?
Boom. You said it.
Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Heading towards the 4th of July. I can feel it right now. A lot of folks have mailed it in. They're like, get me tomorrow, take a half day, get me to Thursday night. And then enjoy yourself Friday, Saturday, and say, not here. You never mail it in. Kidding me? You've given this opportunity to talk sports every day. Blessed and very thankful. I just hope the rain doesn't come. Put a little strategy over the weekend because my GF 6-year-old's in town, granddaughter. So we always head south. Yeah, I play golf one day and go to the beach one day. That's basically my weekend. And we typically go all the way out to Matanzas. So it's just out of this world, right? My GF doesn't drink, so I drink for her as well. And she's the designated driver, but we always go that way, and it was pouring. And it was pouring all the way from there over to my quarter, so we decided to go the other way. So we went to Amelia Island, and we lucked out. We got 3 hours in without rain. What's great about here is that everything is so spread out. You can drive away from the rain. And this applies, not only to the beach, it applies to golf and whatever it is that you may do. I've never been overly trustworthy when it comes to the weather. But then again, I never look. I'm one of those guys who never, ever looks. Are you you hop on the Doppler when it comes to checking things out?
Oh, yes.
You're
Absolutely.
big on it.
Yeah, if I know a storm's coming, especially if we're at football practice, or even if I see it's getting cloudy and I'm trying to beat the rain, if I'm like going on a walk or about to cut the grass, yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah, my dad, who passed recently, he was hilarious with it. He'd be like, Alexa, what's the weather like in Boston? Alexa, what's the weather like in Jacksonville? Alexa, what's the weather going to be like? I mean, certain people just live by it and love it. I just don't waste time. So what is, because I'm supposed to play golf, and I just got the obligatory 80% chance of rain. So are we supposed to get hammered over these next 4 days?
Every day till Sunday, it's like 75 to 80% chance of rain. Apparently, there's some kind of tropical depression, something or another. I don't know what are those terms. Has been going through Northeast Florida for the last couple of days. That's why it's rained every day by the time we coming into work for the show. So, yeah, it'll be from now until the weekend. It'll be a hit or miss.
When I was in Boston 2 weeks ago to say goodbye to my dad, my sister and other friends told me it had rained 13 consecutive Saturdays in Boston. 13 consecutive. It's kind of like a Monday around here after a Jaguars loss. It rains every Monday. I hope you don't get hit with it. I'm fine. I have mornings and afternoons. I'm able to do whatever it is that I want. Sure, I want to play golf and go to the beach and have a great time, but I'm being honest about this. I feel worse for you. The people who work hard, not to say I don't work hard, but people who get up early in the morning and work all day. You're so looking forward to getting, how great is this? A 4th of July and a Friday. And again, for many people, it's already begun this holiday. Or it will certainly begin tomorrow. A lot earlier than expected. But hopefully they're wrong and this crap gets out of here. Little glitch tonight, unfortunately, on YouTube. I've gotten a lot of stuff there. I typically try to respond. I'm unable to tonight. We're going to hopefully have this thing fixed by tomorrow or Monday. But I just want to let those of you out there know that it's not that I am ignoring you. I just are unable to get there. All right, coming up tonight, Clayton Kershaw, an opportunity to become only the 20th player in Major League Baseball with 3,000 career strikeouts, yet getting very little attention. I think that's been pretty common for Kershaw in his career, the left-hander. Not but never really the recognition that Maddox, Glavine, Smoltz, Pedro, Clemens, Johnson, and I'm thinking of the great pitchers of the last 20, 25 years. In my opinion, I mean, he's more in a category. I don't even think he gets as much as Verlander or Scherzer. I think he's in a category of a CC Sabathia, a Mike Mussina, a Zach Greinke, someone along those lines. And it's a surprise to me because if you look at Clayton Kershaw, these are some of the great numbers that you will ever see in any era. I mean, look at this guy. He's got a WAR of 79.9, 216 and 94. He's got a win percentage of 697. Got an ERA of 2.51. Got a whip of just barely over 1 at 1.01. And in 2,781 innings, 2,997 career strikeouts. So he'll become the 20th player to do that tonight. And just how rare is this? Chris Sale is next up. Chris Sale, 2,528. That's it. You can't find anyone. Garrett Cole is on the shelf. Tommy John, he's got 2,251 at the age of 34. He's out this year, going to be out, who knows, for next year. That is certainly a long shot. Charlie Morton has over 2,000 career strikeouts, but he's already 41 years of age at 21-24, so that's not going to happen. Darvish is 38, just went over 2,000 career strikeouts. And again, to me, that is the benchmark. Every player on this list is in, except for the two that I mentioned for other reasons, and Roger Clemens and Kurt Schilling. All right, let's compare this to 3,000 hits, which is much higher regarded in Major League Baseball, traditionally by baseball fans and by the media. 32 players, historically speaking, with 33, excuse me, with 3,000 career strikeouts. Next up is Freddie Freeman, who's been a little bit of a slump. He's got 23-51 at the age of 35. I don't know if I would bet that. Certainly hope he gets it. But he's going to have to get on a groove here. 160 hit seasons aren't going to be enough. He's going to have to get up to the 175, 180 and do it for, at least another solid 4 years. Jose Altuve, 23-13. I think he gets there, even though he's 35. He's just a hitting machine. I mean, as a minimum, he's going to put up in the 180s. The guy's been over 200 so many times. And after that, it would be Manny Machado, who should hit 2,000 career hits, this weekend, or if not early next week with 1,995. Yet you've had 33 3,000 hit players in Major League Baseball. Only 19, it'll be 20 tonight when it comes to 3,000 career strikeouts for pitchers. Pete Rose, the all-time hit leader, not in. Let's see here. Albert Pujols, 10th all-time, not eligible yet. Who else is not in? I know Rafael Palmeiro. Let's see. Palmeiro, 30th all-time with 3,020 hits, not in. I believe that is it in the history of Major League Baseball. Miguel Cabrera, not eligible yet, but he'll get there with 3,124. So there you go. Just a couple of numbers that certainly mean a lot to me. I'm a baseball numbers guy, and he deserves this respect. What's crazy is that there's only 33 players in the history of Major League Baseball with 3,000 career hits. Do you realize that there's only 297 career players with 2,000 career hits? You know that?
I did not know that.
I think it's been more than 20,000 Major League Baseball players. Only 297. And again, that's going to happen for Machado in the next week here. He's actually playing in a doubleheader right now. And he did have a hit in game one. But that's just amazing to me when you historically, look at these numbers. And I get it. Baseball numbers aren't what they once were. I think it bores today's kids. I'm disappointed by that because I am a lifelong Major League Baseball. Football numbers just don't hit the way that baseball numbers do, in my opinion. I mean, 1,000 yards rushing is what, 60-something yards a game now during a 16-game schedule? I remember growing up in the NFL, a 3,000-yard passing season was really something. And that was when this league was primarily a running league, right, in the 70s, when you had O.J. Simpson and you got the Chuck Foreman and Tony Dorsett and Billy Sims and Earl Campbell and all of the Sam the Bam Cunningham, all those great runners. It was a run-first league. And 3,000 yards was really an accomplishment. I mean, I think today it's probably 4,000 yards, and it's still not as decorated. 1,000-yard receivers, 1,000-yard backs still are absolutely represented. We saw the Mike Evans reception in the final play of the game to go over 1,000 yards. I think it's 9, 10, Maybe even be 11 straight years for Mike Evans. No one else has ever done it, historically speaking, so that's kind of cool. But football numbers, not really. What was the great number in basketball? Growing up, it was, could you average 20 points or more? Is that still the number, historically speaking, in the NBA? NHL, it was score 30 goals. It was 100 points in a year. It just feels like those numbers are old school. And instead, we're going to look at sabermetrics, and we're going to look at Pro Football Focus ratings. I mean, today for pitchers, it's all about WAR. For pitchers, it's all about WHIP. You know, you look at the OPS, the different numbers in baseball. So we've seen everything change, including the way that you actually do analyze this game in every game. Wonder where football's going to go in a few years.
Wonder if Next Gen Stats is going to come up with something in the next couple of years, like, because usually, you know, they can factor in the miles per hour, but I wonder if they're going to get into like other things in the next couple of years to where, you know, they can do like something with baseball to where, you know, you can measure out like a win ratio for receivers, like on routes.
Yeah, I mean, it's only going to expand. I've been doing this for 34 years. I can tell you that for years and years and years and years, I never sat back and really broke down red zone percentage in the NFL. That was an afterthought. You just didn't. It's not because you're lazy, but it just wasn't something that was consistently broken down. I mean, look at how, and really every offensive category now, you know, making tacklers miss. Look at that Travis Etienne statistic of a couple of years ago. Jacksonville led the NFL 25% of the time. The Jaguars were hit at the line of scrimmage or prior to the line of scrimmage. Awful. 25%. I mean, you can't make that stuff up. Again, it used to be your eye test. When I was doing it, when I first got into this, you could say, well, he's, getting tackled all the time behind the line of scrimmage. You didn't have the data. You didn't have that would say, and now it's gone even farther where you can try to recognize based on Pro Football Focus and some other things, whether or not it's the offensive line's fault or it's the running back's fault. Is it the running back's lack of vision? Is it the running back's lack of wiggle? Or is it a soft and friendly offensive line? Where before, it was strictly what you saw in your opinion. Now, today, you have facts that support it. It's pretty bizarre in a way. You know, I kind of miss the days where you really trusted your eyes, or you had conversations with others who you respected in the industry and got their opinion on what it is that you wanted to know. And maybe you agree or disagree, but no. Today, it's all about the math, man. It's all about what the numbers spit out. And then they're going to tell you. I mean, you look at this Pro Football Focus stuff. You go to the Jaguars' offensive line, you look at the numbers on Hainsey and McCarty, and it's like, what did Jacksonville just do? Why did they spend this amount of money for guys who did not rank positively in Pro Football Focus? Well, my guess is Baselli and Gladstone and others, Liam Cohen was with Hainsey, said, it's more than that. We can do this with them. We can do that with them. You hope so. Anyway, good luck tonight. Clayton Kershaw, I'll be watching. That's a late night game. Let's see. I think it's a 10-10 West Coast start. Where are you at?
It is 10-10.
Chicago at Chavez Ravine. Boy, the Dodgers are an enormous favorite. Minus 335 to win $100. If you want to take the dog in the Chicago White Sox, right now, if you laid down 100, you would get back $265. Speaking of numbers, speaking of the odds, let's bring in our buddy Rafael Esparza. He joins us next.
In the jungle, the only way a lion survives, not by acting like a king, being the king.
1010XL.
Rotator cuff injuries are common among athletes and those who have physically demanding careers. Don't let this injury keep you away from the sport you love. Dr. George Barry here, and the first thing you need to do with a serious shoulder injury is to diagnose where the damage is and how significant it is. Rotator cuff tears are either acute tears sustained during an injury or accident, or degenerative tears. If you're interested in learning more about rotator cuff repair and how our expert team of orthopedic surgeons can help you, call Barry Orthopedics today or visit barryorthopedics.com.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
The best golfing weather is upon us, and Hidden Hills Golf Club invites you to enjoy your next round of golf with us. Our welcoming atmosphere and love for golf keep our friends coming back. Check us out at hiddenhillsgc.com. You'll be glad you did.
All aboard! The Combine, Free Agency, the Draft. Here we go! Ride the off-season like a locomotive with AA Automotive and 1010XL.
Might want to buckle up, baby.
AA Automotive on Richard Street. Family run since 1954.
Firehouse Subs has fries. Your hometown hero since '94 just cranked up the heat. Hot subs, crispy fries, golden, pillowy on the inside, and perfectly seasoned. Over 30 Jacksonville locations. Firehouse Subs, homegrown and now with fries.
Hey, Jacksonville, need a fence and ready to save? At Superior Fence and Rail, you'll lock in 5% off your fence project when you sign by the end of July. A limited time offer for savings and peace of mind this summer. Now accepting appointments for a free estimate. So act fast and get 5% off your entire fence project when you finalize by July 31st. Cannot be combined with other offers. New contracts only.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org.
This 4th of July, Navy Mutual would like to salute Ted Williams as our hero in sports. A flight instructor during World War II, Williams flew 39 combat missions in the Korean War and still made 19 All-Star Game appearances. What a legend.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Registration is now open for the Circle K Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament. Over $250,000 in cash and prizes available, with payouts up to 20 places. Of course, there's great prizes for lady anglers, and bring along your junior anglers as well. Register today at kingfishtournament.com. Even if you're not on the water, spectators will enjoy fun exhibits, food, kids' activities, and a fireworks display at the Circle K Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament.
Brackish Vodka, the spirit of the sportsman and proud partner of the Jaguars, wants to make your flight in and out of Jax a fun one. Stop by Vino Volo in the airport and enjoy 2 signature Brackish cocktails. Vino Volo has amazing food and cocktails before your flight. Brackish Vodka is the first clean craft vodka and made right here in Jacksonville, Florida. Brackish Vodka for whatever your sport is. If your sport is flying, your vodka is Brackish, proud partner of the Jaguars.
Need the right tools for the job without the full-time price tag? Tucker Equipment Rentals in Neptune Beach is what you need when you need it. From heavy machinery for commercial projects to weekend projects at the house, we've got you covered. We've been serving Jax for 50 years. Visit Tucker Equipment Rentals in Neptune Beach, just behind Aqua East Surf Shop, or call today. We also have event rentals too. Tucker Equipment Rentals. Tools you need without the price tag of purchasing.
Hi, folks. Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Ever wonder what to do with leftover paint that you don't want? Here's a few options. Paint can be placed in the regular trash if it's dry. Simply stir in kitty litter to a thick consistency. Then wait a few days with the lid off till it dries. Also, if the paint is good, there's many charities or churches that would love to have it. If you'd like more tips or have a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since 87.
Looking forward to watching Clayton Kershaw tonight. 10:10 will be the first pitch. Chicago White Sox 3 Ks away from becoming the 20th player in the history of the game to notch up 3,000 career strikeouts. Tampa Bay only 1 out, and right now New York is getting clobbered. They're down 7-0. So an opportunity for Tampa Bay to get right there with the New York Yankees among the top of the American League East. And the Braves right now, no score. Boy, still 11 out in the National League East for the Atlanta Braves. You got to wonder, are they going to be sellers here coming up, or can they possibly turn some things around and become buyers? The Angels actually up already 2-0 in the top half. Now we go to the bottom half of the first. The Braves have some runners on the plate, so we'll keep you updated on that.
Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece.
Vegas, baby, Vegas! Should say runners on the bases. You can't have more than one runner on home plate. He is Rafael Esparza. Hello, Rafael.
Hello, how are you doing this evening?
Good stuff. UFC over the weekend, the Jake Paul fight over the weekend. Good or bad overall for the books?
Good for UFC. You're going to enjoy this one. Maybe the Jake Paul boxing love is over with, because this is probably the weakest handle we had on any Jake Paul fight since I can remember. Him against Tyson broke records. This one, NHL All-Star or NHL Draft, I think, had more betting action than the Jake Paul fight. So I don't know if that means his love is over with, or maybe he just needs to fight a real up-and-coming boxer, not a washed-up boxer in Chavez Jr.
I'd walk away. I mean, I don't know if it's true. I heard he made $50 million on this fight. Again, I don't know if that's correct or incorrect, but I wouldn't want the scrambled brains. I think there's other things that he can do. If I was Jake Paul, I'd say, that's it. I've done it. Time to move on.
Well, what I understood, he's got the bug, and so now he wants. I mean, he has improved since back in the day, back in maybe 5 years ago when he was doing this. He has improved tremendously. I just think he's got the boxing bug or the professional athlete bug, just like his brother, who really loves doing all the WWE stuff. He got bit by that bug as well. So I just think, people say just walk away from it, but if you really enjoy what you're doing, it's hard to walk away. Ask any athlete.
Yeah, they're coming back. I saw that Tyson Fury's coming back. He announced that earlier today. Of course, John Jones announced a couple of weeks ago he's walking away. Is that the exact same thing? Is he just waiting for the right price tag, and you expect Bones to return?
I don't think Bones will return. The MMA is totally different. I mean, a track record of anyone being 38 and over, the track record of wins and losses is well documented. And he's just making more money doing other stuff than, unless they're going to pay differently, which UFC does not pay differently like boxing does. I just don't see him coming back. I actually see him maybe doing a boxing stint than he does in the UFC.
Interesting. Do things change tonight with Kershaw? I mean, a historic number. He's 3 away. He's a huge favorite. Is there more activity at the window because of the game?
Minus $3 because they're playing the White Sox. If there was any other team, I would say yes, but people are going to go, I'm going to bet Kershaw on the Dodgers. And then you open up your app or your Hard Rock app or whatever you're looking at. Minus 320 on Clayton Kershaw, even it's not the same Clayton Kershaw we've seen in years past. I just don't think that's why a lot of love maybe the White Sox are going to overlook Kershaw because they have a big series this weekend, 4th of July weekend. They have to play the Colorado Rockies.
Ooh.
I heard the winner of that series gets regulated down to AAA.
All right, let's wrap with Arch Manning, the overwhelming favorite right now to win the Heisman. 5-1 odds out of Texas. I think he's got 1, maybe 2 career starts. Did some mop up a year ago for the Longhorns. How unusual is this to have a guy who did not start begin the Heisman odds as the household leader?
It's not unusual because I tell people, look at his last name. I mean, it's Manning. He's playing quarterback. If his name was Smith or Esparza, then no, he would not be 3-1. There's even plus 290, I think I saw at a shop a couple of days ago. You have to throw in a mist. He's playing Texas, and his last name is Manning. So a lot of it has to do with that, not because of his status or what he can do at the University of Texas.
All right. What else is going on right now in the world of sports?
I can't believe you didn't talk about 4th of July. The GOAT is coming back on Friday. The greatest athlete of all time, Joey Chestnut Jaws, is coming back for his 1-year suspension for hot dog eating contest over under 71.5. This year. So the GOAT is coming back. I know people are probably like, I can't believe it, but people say bowling is a sport and pickleball is a sport and NASCAR is a sport. If those are sports, then I'm putting in competitive eating as a sport, and he is the GOAT.
Refresh our memory. What was he suspended for?
Because he signed a 1-year deal with Impossible Foods, which was a vegetarian, I think, hot dog. And Nathan's got upset that he did that. And I mean, he was going for the bag. I mean, he wanted more money. So, I mean, he can't. I mean, it's not like he was getting to eat Impossible hot dogs during the event. He just signed a contract with it.
Rafael Esparza, ladies and gentlemen. Always a pleasure, Rafael. How do they find you out there, by the way?
You can find me on Instagram at Rafael Esparza. You can find me on X at BSI.sports. And soon I'll have a new betting show be announced on 4th of July. So check me out on social media 2 days a week.
We'll talk about that next week. Thank you.
Take it easy.
Dylan, you dive into Hard Rock a little bit for some wagering. Do they have anything on the hot dog eating contest on there?
I have not seen anything from them yet. I'm about to check right now.
Okay. I got
under sports, would that be
I don't know. According to Rafael Esparza, it's a sport. Yeah. Boy, this rolled in as well today. Spencer Schwellenbach. Fractured pitching elbow. Wow. So he's placed on the 15-day injured list. I'm missing the days of the disabled list, but it's the 15-day injured list. And I just talked about whether or not the Braves are going to be buyers or sellers. This young 25-year-old stud is certainly a huge part of what they have right now. But the right-hander is going to be on the shelf for quite some time.
Now, the 2-minute drill on 1010XL.
Hacker Nation is here, and it is a Wednesday night. A lot of good baseball coming up tonight around the bigs.
A lot of good baseball. I've been locked into the United States, Guatemala. I'm sure you've been very interested in that in the first last hour of your program as the semifinals of the Gold Cup going on right now.
Okay, update us. What's happening?
United States is up 2-0. So, and look, they need to beat Guatemala. Now, soccer's weird, particularly in a tournament like this. This is not the United States A team. Like Christian Pulisic, all the guys that'll be in the World Cup next year, most of them are not playing. This is the B or C team, if you will. This would be like the Yankees AA or AAA affiliate playing in a baseball tournament, as an example. But having said that, you need to beat Guatemala, and they're up 2-0. And if they beat Guatemala, then they're likely to play Mexico on Sunday in the Gold Cup final there at NRG Stadium in Houston.
This is really not a sport you don't follow.
No, soccer, golf, and tennis outside of the majors. And then obviously baseball, hockey, basketball, and football. I don't watch the MLS a lot. A lot of my buddies are into the Champions League in Europe. I'm just country versus country.
Mm-hmm.
World Cup, Gold Cup, European Championships. I love that. I'm not as much into the MLS and other soccer entities, though, outside of country versus country.
Okay. got you there. Yeah, golf underway tomorrow, and, we'll see what actually does take place there. We're getting a little bit closer, obviously, to the next major. All right, what's coming up tonight on Hacker After Dark?
Yeah, we got some Gator recruiting news that's come in the last couple of hours. David Waters of the Gators Breakdown podcast will join me to talk a little Florida football, a little Florida recruiting. Our division previews are almost in the rearview mirror. This is team number 27 tonight. We started in early May. We're going every team. We're going to end next week in the AFC South. 2 more in the NFC South this week. Tonight, it's all about the Atlanta Falcons. My buddy John Michaels of 680 The Fan in Atlanta to break down the Falcons offseason and a little college football talk as well coming up in the 9 o'clock hour.
Got that. Have a lot of fun.
Thanks, Rick.
That's going to do it. Dylan Denmark, you're not with me tomorrow or Monday. It'll be JJ, so have yourself a great 4th of July.
Thank you. You as well. Be safe out there.
All right, there he goes. That is Dylan Denmark. He produces the program. Thank you to John Osher. Thank you to Rafael Esparza. Thank you to you. Hope you have a great weekend if you don't join us coming up tomorrow night from 6 to 8. Gonna put something together kind of special on the previewing the 4th of July. So that'll be tomorrow night, 6 to 8. Right here with Rick Ballou on your home of the Jaguars, 92.5 FM.